You know what? I guess maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We have got to start celebrating everything, right? Because you just
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Man, talk about, hey, I'm on time now.
I'm on time,
Like
baby.
a few weeks in a row in 2 years. Now what?
But
Now
guess
what do
what
you
though?
say when we finally start coming into our own? What are you personally gonna buy me? What did you say?
When we come into our own and start making this money, I'm gonna buy this man a damn professional lineup and a haircut. Because if y'all see this shit
Get
he
off of
got
my
riding on his
hair.
head
Get
right
off
now,
my girl.
do
Why
y'all
you
see
hating
this
on
shit
my
he got
girl,
riding on his head?
man?
Look, when he came on the screen, I was like, oh god,
Oh man,
come
look, I
on, man,
can
we
complain
live,
about
baby.
me.
You
I
live.
can
We got to look
complain about
professional.
me. Like I don't know what to say for you, man.
Look,
You know,
man,
look,
I'm
let's
just
just not waste any more time. Let's just go on into the intro. Talking about my daggum hairline.
I'm
How
sorry,
dare
man.
you?
It ain't the hairline. It's just the hair.
We did it. We did it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your host, Gales, and to my left, as usual, is
As usual, he says that as he don't like it, but guess what? I'm here. It's me. It's me, the
wait a minute. Hang
insane
on.
Mr. Dean with my brother. I might give him a hard time, might talk shit about him, but it's all from the heart. I love him.
Hey, the
My
man.
man, Mr. Gales, man. What's going on, my buddy? My buddy, my brother, my
This guy.
my big
This
little brother,
guy.
and I say that because you're
Shouts
taller
out.
and bigger than me, but I'm older.
Listen, shouts out to Tanner Talk out there. We see you in the comments. Should be a pretty interesting one tonight. As Mr. Dean said, it's not going to be very much sports because we got on some crazy rabbit hole tangent last week trying to figure out the mind of one Ye, formerly known
Right,
as Kanye West. I try to, that's what he wants to be called. I try to respect that. You know what I mean?
right, right.
But anywho, you want to introduce our guest tonight?
Yeah, man. Got a special guest, man. Real special to me because it's a family member, man. But outside of being a family member, this dude is real. He ain't gonna hold nothing back. A pillar in the
Oh man.
community down there where we from, Columbia, Tennessee. Do a lot of great things in the community. A great speaker. Without further ado, man, I want to introduce my cousin, Mr. DeMarco Williams himself. My guy.
Hey,
Hey,
there
What's
what's
up,
he
going
baby?
on? What's
is.
going on, man? Hey, man, I appreciate this, man. Hey,
Yes,
this
sir.
all love right here, man. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir, man.
it. Yeah, yeah.
So, man, look, we're gonna go on and get on, man. Since you're a guest on the show, we want people to learn a little bit about you, man. You feel free to say whatever you want to. Tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Hey, man, I'm just a regular old guy here, man. Just trying to get my point across and my point of view across. First of all, uh, I was incarcerated for 20 years. I did my time. Uh, During the time I was incarcerated, I did myself. I educated myself. I sat back. I stayed away from the prison activities most of the time, and got myself together because I knew that I was going to come back out on the streets one day. So, hey, man, I'm just out here, man. I do my best to try to educate my people, man, and give light, man, and I also accept light, man. So that's what I'm here for right now.
Right,
So you're
right.
gonna figure out who I am when we get to going.
Right, right. Look. Like as of last week, when you was in the comments last week, and my counterpart up there, he wasn't agreeing with me too much, but you was. I said, oh, you know what? Damn, we just gonna bring him on the show next week, and y'all gonna have
Right.
a nice little debate. I might be one of them shows. I'm gonna sit back and narrate this right here because
Right.
I finally
Okay.
brought some firepower for my guy, Mr. Gales, up there, man. I finally
That's
got some
what's up.
firepower,
First
man.
of all, I don't know what what I've done to deserve such just fervor from you, man. What have I done?
You
I'm
ain't done
always
nothing, man.
interested in having a conversation. And
No.
here's something that Stephen A. said that like people got thrown off about. He says, "No matter what, I am undefeated on my show." And like, Stephen A., you took plenty of L's. He's like, "No. Listen. Either I'm right or you're right and I learned something. Either way, I win. So there you go. That's how
He
we're
definitely
gonna
ain't
do it.
undefeated on the show because that's the reason why his ass got rid of Skip and Max because they was getting the best of his ass. And he couldn't handle it no more.
DeMarco,
But that's a
help-
different story for a different day
DeMarco,
about Stephen A.
What's going
Please
on?
help me out. What did I just say?
Hey,
Please
man.
break this down for Cuzzo.
you mean break the Kyrie down?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm saying like what I just said is either I win the debate or I learned from the debate. Either way, I win. Like, is he what is he missing?
He's not missing anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So,
he's
yeah.
not missing anything.
Craig
Hey,
Jr.
look.
writes in with Kanye got in so much trouble that Kyrie got yelled at. Are you familiar with this story, DeMarco?
I'm kind of familiar with the whole situation. Me myself, I'm just speaking for me as a black man. Whenever our black brothers, whenever we say something, hey, we got to get ready to get beat down, man, by our own. And that's sad that right now that only thing them guys are trying to do is educate and, hey, open your eyes, man. This is what's going on. They're not trying to convert nobody to do nothing. They're just saying, hey, wake up. It's a bigger team than these basketball teams.
Right.
Bigger team, man.
That's true. So only pushback I'll give, because I've said this a lot, especially when Dean starts talking that LeBron James stuff.
If you want to get on that,
Here we go.
if you want to get on that, Cuzzo gonna be on my side on that too. He's gonna be on my side on that too. I'm telling you now. I ain't gonna want to think like it about Brown.
Be on your side for what are we saying here? Like, come on, man. We both agree that Jordan's the GOAT, right? You're saying you love what LeBron James does off the court. You don't like him on the court. And I said, fine. Like, what?
Well, right now, off the court, I ain't really like what he's doing because he ain't speaking up for his boy Kyrie.
Speaking of
pay attention to what I'm finna tell you, brother. Pay attention to I'm finna tell you. Some of our favorite former and current athletes are paid and are brought and paid for. What I mean by that is they speak on what they want to speak on when they want to speak on it. But sensitive subjects they don't speak on because they got to answer to the people they paid and brought them. Look at some of the shit that Bron have came out and spoke on. But you don't want to come out and speak on your ex-teammate. Even though what he said, he might have said it in the wrong way. But it's got a lot of points and a lot of facts to what he said, how he said it. But you, instead of y'all speaking up for him, guys like LeBron, Shaq, Charles Barkley, which we all know he's a damn hypocrite. Y'all want to speak down on this man. So like I said, Shannon Sharp, the list goes on. Some of our favorite current and former athletes are brought and paid for.
Real quick.
So that means they're brought and paid for. What I mean by that, they have to speak on what they're told to speak on. Because if not, they're gonna rip their check. But if you're making all the money they make it, why you be scared of if they strip you of some of their check anyway?
Right.
Because
when the Colin Kaepernick thing was going on, everybody was speaking out. So why y'all don't want to speak out on Kanye and Kyrie?
Okay. First, we're getting some comments in that saying that he did. He's saying that the media he's not portraying Kyrie for who he really is. Right? And then Tame says, IFBB Pro, Courtney English, aka Tame says, Bron will speak on Kyrie when he joins the Lakers. Oh, it's not happening.
See what I'm saying?
Like, I wish
that's what it takes.
Just to make it interesting. Like right now, like nobody likes the Lakers being down. You want them in the mix so you can at least have something to talk about. Like this is just sad. But I don't. So real quick, for people who are not aware, after Kanye West is going through, whatever he's going through, Kyrie links up, or I guess sort of promotes a video on his platform. Right, it talks about from I can't even remember the exact title, but basically
Hebrews to Negroes.
Hebrews to Negroes.
Yeah.
Right.
Wake up, black man, Black America. Yeah.
Right, but I guess it's like a 3.5 hour documentary that had a lot of stuff sprinkled in there that didn't really have anything to do with it. So here's the first theory. People don't think that he actually watched the documentary. People think that he agrees with what the title says, which the original Jewish people were Negro, right?
Right.
So I don't know. We can go at this from so many different angles, but my biggest thing is, Dean, I feel like, okay, what do you think Charles Barkley's job is versus his responsibility?
Damn sure to uplift his fellow brothers, because he never does.
Yeah,
he always
finds
a big word. This
a big word. So he don't ever compliment Steph Curry or LeBron James.
Charles, let one of us get in trouble. He's always found a way to tear us down and not lift us up. Go back and look at anything about Charles Barkley.
Okay, but what do you think his job is?
Hell, he don't even do a good job of commentating. So what is his job is?
DeMarco, what do you think his job is?
Well,
I'm talking about like zoom out to the big picture. What is his job as far as, being on TNT?
Really to analyze the game, pretty much. Nothing personal. They need to stay out of their personal life stuff. They need to leave it alone. They need to strictly sports with that.
Right.
So, hey, man.
So, Craig Jude, I agree with that. Barkley's job is to gather views. That's it. Do you understand what the views do? Views are eyeballs, just like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. His sole purpose is to keep you looking and talking about that show. Why? Because the more people do it, the more advertisers will pay in the contracts. Why? Because the more eyeballs I get, they believe that we have got our, formula refined in such a way that just bring me the eyeballs and I'll make them want this cheeseburger. I'll make them buy Tide. I'm going to make them do whatever it is I'm selling. See what I'm saying? So you're right. He does have a problem. It's not for his analytics, right? Look at Shaq. It's not because he's such a well-spoken dude. You know what I mean? Like, no.
He's not that well-spoken.
Exactly. But this is my point. Like, the ideal is they're entertaining. They bring eyeballs. They keep butts in seats, which means we can now push whatever advertising we want on them and make money. So when we're having this conversation, right, if we go back to our title here, slavery is a choice. Wait, what? Right? So as we get into that topic, I want you to understand not just the surface level stuff, but the things beyond the thing, right? You with me on this?
With you, brother.
Negativity sells. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Maybe some people want to hear the truth, but the truth doesn't matter here. Neither does the lie. What matters is, are the people going to keep their eyeballs on this TV past commercial to come back to see what else nonsense is going to be happening? Right? And I really wish I could sit down with a Kyrie Irving or a Kanye West and say, hey, what is your goal here?
Listen, let me say this. It's not a goal. Is I was watching something before, probably about an hour ago, and it's not even about that. It's about, I'm just gonna keep it real, man. It's a lot of black people that's tired, man. It's a lot of black people that's tired, and they're tired of the other man can say and do what he want to do with no consequences. And I'm gonna say this: Amazon. Nobody is boycotting Amazon. Nobody boycotted. Listen to this: Shaq played this same movie at his movie theaters. Now he's calling Kyrie an idiot. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, like he said, the money people with the leashes then told Shaq them, hey, you can say this, but you can't say that. Kyrie said, no, I'm going to say what I want to say. So guess what? Now you got to go apologize. You got to go get some training. So listen, when you say training, the first thing I think of is a dog. This grown man don't need no training. That's what he believe in. He's trying to show you the way y'all been talking is not real. That's fake, man. And we as black people are scared to say this. Plain and simple, we scared. We scared of the repercussions. I might lose my job. They gonna do this. Hey man, when all this is said and done, it's only one person we're gonna have to answer to, man. And all this old crazy stuff that's going on. Hey man, my last thing I'm gonna say on this.
Well, it can't be your last thing.
No. I'm talking about on this right here. This part right here.
Uh-huh.
The tides has turned, man. The people that was in power are losing power, and they don't know what to do. That's why we see all this crazy stuff going on in the White House. It ain't our fight right now. It ain't our fight. We sitting this one out. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, now they fighting amongst each other. The good and the bad right now, regardless if they Republicans or Democrats, they fighting amongst each other. We sitting this one out.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that? You don't see?
Think they're fighting amongst each other. Like, wait, first of all, we gotta define who they are.
Okay, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take you back to. Are you ready? You ready?
Wait, real quick, just help me out. Define who they are.
I'm gonna tell you who the they are.
Okay.
They are the ones that was trying to overthrow the government against the ones that's trying to keep it together. And I'm talking about white people. You got white people fighting against each other, man. That's what you got going on right now. You know, some of them don't care about us or whatever, but then you got that other group that care. You know what I'm saying? So right now, they are fighting. We're not fighting. They fighting because they can't control us no more, and they losing their grip. And some of our people still don't want to understand that, man. It's easy. It's out there. It's out there.
I like where you're going. Let me read this comment right now.
Okay.
Mr. Craig Jule says, nah, them Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. They sitting back laughing at us probably.
Right.
LOL. Trump and Biden out golfing together, eating seafood and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I believe that.
I can damn sure believe that.
Right.
So I feel like it's always been the haves versus the have-nots. Right. And when you have the few who are in control of the many, you have to take on certain tactics in order to keep that sort of control. And I'm telling you, if anybody out there who's ever played like a Minecraft or a Stardew Valley or any kind of farm game, whatever it is, right? You start off with no materials, you build up some materials, and then you go from hunting your food to capturing your food and breeding them in a way where you don't even have to hunt anymore, and so on and so forth. Like, so you want to start this as slavery in America, fine, but then the other countries starting to cut that pipeline off because they see the economic growth. So, okay, now we got to figure out something else. Fine. What we'll do is we'll just create jails and police and these certain laws that only attack certain people. See what I'm saying? So you just keep refining that process over and over and over, staying ahead of the curve. So it doesn't matter what the many want or what the many think. Democrat, Republican, like my man Craig said, I don't think that really matters as much as there are those people who keep themselves in power, regardless of doing things that have an adverse effect to the people they're supposed to be representing. Right? If I go tell people, man, you don't want that Obamacare, they're like, yeah, we hate Obamacare, but you're the one sick and can't afford insurance. You're the one who's sick and can't afford insurance, but you're going against Obamacare. Like, it doesn't make much sense.
Let me ask you something.
You're paying attention. Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. I'm 50 years old. Since I know they all the same. They're in the White House, but this the part what I don't get. My whole 50 years of living, that's all they've been doing is fighting amongst each other. That's all they've been doing. Divide. And guess what? We don't have to follow that. They done divided us again with this Kyrie crap, with this little bit of this right here that nobody was complaining about when it was just on Amazon. Nobody was complaining about it. Now, these brothers here with this money done stepped up, and Kyrie, now he want to talk about it or post it. Now everybody got a problem with it. Nobody's talking about the director. Hey, it's people that put this movie together. Why they not saying nothing about them? Why are they not getting their check snatched? That's the whole thing. That's why us as people, man, we got to stop going for that. That is none of that. Listen here, man. They stole, names were stolen, culture was stolen, everything was stolen from us, and we still getting this false information, and we cool with it. And when one brother comes and try to open up something to show, them folks got enough power to turn us against our own. We got to start talking about this, man. That sports stuff is cool, but if all them guys stick together, the NBA, the NFL won't be shit. Pay the man. Won't be nothing, man.
They wouldn't need this damn time, baby.
Afraid to pay the debt gold fee. I love it.
And everybody know it. So
right.
what's the problem? What's the problem? We the problem, man. We are our own problem.
See, I wanted to walk this into this sort of this, I guess, wing of the conversation, but we're here now, right?
We're here.
When it's all said and done, what does it matter? I think if we understand, we'll say as Black people, that we have a target on our back, like it behooves us to move carefully, right? If you watch a deer in the woods, they're constantly popping up looking. Why? Because I know something's out here trying to kill me. I know I'm not the apex predator, but like, why would I be in a clearing just eating with my head down and not paying attention ever? Why would I not be trying to make sure that I can build something for me and my family and then get it to a place later on further down the road to where nobody can touch that? I'm talking about wealth. I'm talking about voting block, voting power, all these different things. A Kanye and a Kyrie, my only question is, what is your goal here? Well, you're saying educate, but I don't think he's taking his own advice. I don't think he's educating himself. I don't think he understands what kind of alluding to those types of things, right? Actually does.
It's so much stuff that they involved in with that industry, man, that we have no idea, man. Them folks will so quickly take a family member and get rid of them just because you won't do something. That's how serious it is. And that's what Kanye is talking about. People think he's saying he sacrificed his own mom. And that ain't what he's talking about, man. He loved his mom, man. So if you in the industry, and if you know anything, you know this. If you get out of line, you get whacked.
And like to piggyback on you said, like Kanye said, he said, I haven't killed anybody. I'm the bitch. I ain't never been to jail. So that's why I can say what I want to, because they can't come and get me. And he started naming off people like his mom that was sacrificed, Bill Cosby's son that was sacrificed, on and on. But he's like, I'm the bitch. I never did. I haven't killed nobody. So whatever I say, they can't take me to jail.
Man.
Right.
Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I'm talking like I'm in the street. But to piggyback like on this movie that Kyrie commented on, I sent you a link, Gales, that I want you to play, and why nobody is coming out and talking about this. And this was a cartoon. I think Family Guy.
Right. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like Family Guy.
It is.
Why nobody ever talked about this? This some sensitive
when you
shit.
say nobody,
I haven't heard anybody come out and discredit this thing. It's basically making a joke of what our ancestors went through.
Right.
To me. I don't
know
how
what
you
this show is all about.
Make fun of me. So why did nobody come out and speak on this? Yeah. If you're gonna go tick for tack, we gotta go tick for tack with everything.
Oh man, this
pay
looks bad.
the brought for, man. Pay attention.
I haven't heard one thing yet, but this looks bad. Let's take a listen.
Our pain.
It's gonna be the best summer ever. And it was. But Nate soon found himself put to work on a southern plantation. It was way down there, you know, where you stop seeing Howard Johnsons and you start seeing Stickies. Anyway, it was a horrible place where they took away everybody's African names and gave them new names. What's your name?
Toby, with an I, with an accent over the I, and a little line over the O, so you know it's a long vowel sound and not a short one. And sometimes I like to dot the I with a little smiley face or a heart or something to brighten the reader's day.
I asked you what your name was.
Honey, you keep that up. It's whatever you want it to be.
I mean,
what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Gales?
What's your thoughts on that? It's art.
It's art.
Like, what do you think they've been doing forever?
Just said it's
Like,
art.
no, and I don't mean to like say it. and
This is
shrug it
art
off.
on this shirt right here. You hear me? That's
Hear me
art.
out. Hear me out. I don't mean to just minimalize it like it's nothing. I'm saying why people don't get in trouble for that like Kyrie is, because it's under the guise of art. Like I was listening to somebody talk about just like naked statues. I mean, you go in some of these museums and you got some of the wildest positions out there, right? Nudity, anything like that. You put it in the magazine, now you have to put the 18 and plus 18 up symbol on there. You have to censor it. You have to put a cover over it. It has to be in the back room somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they're able to manipulate the system that's out there for everybody, by the way.
So that's what you kind of manipulate. That's what it is. What about they call the shots and we don't? If we got a problem with it, we got to deal with it. And if they got a problem with it, they're going to get rid of it. And hey, anything I say, man, that's all you got to do is go outside or turn the TV on and you see it, man. We can't complain about nothing. Suck it up. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's racist or what, we can't say nothing. We got to accept it. Huh?
Who is the they?
You know who I'm talking about.
You can't do that, man.
I'm talking about the oppressor, because all of them ain't like that. Everybody not like. I'm talking about the ones who still want us with chains on our feet and chains on our brains. That's the one. That's who I'm always talking about. Them.
But you say it like, okay, I'm trying to like, and stop me if I'm wrong. You're saying it like it's some sort of plot to return back to 2 centuries ago slavery.
Don't you hear them folks when they say, make America great again? What do you think they talking about, brother? They ain't talking about just a couple of years ago. They talking about we want to take it back when it was great.
We're not talking about where America was making things and, creating things and leading in technology.
That ain't what they talking about. That ain't what they talking about.
Look, let's go back to TNT and Charles Barkley. Let's go back to them. What is Charles Barkley's job? And we already talked about it. That's to keep eyeballs on the TV so you can sell them things. Like back in the day, slavery, as desensitizing as this may sound, the number one job of slavery was not just because I don't like black people. They tried it with themselves. They tried it with Aborigines. They tried it with all kinds of people. We were just the best at it. We could last longer. We can withstand the heat better. We were just the best at it. How the colonies even got started was like the dredgings in the low class of Britain being shipped over here, just like to Australia, just like India and any other place where they were usurping their power. It wasn't their best and brightest. They tried it with themselves. It didn't work. So when I say, oh man, this is tough. When I say they've refined the process so well that it runs itself at this time, man. It runs itself. America is not the biggest country in the world, but we have the most imprisoned people. Right. And you know who most of those imprisoned people are? Black people. Are we the biggest population in America? Nope. So it don't have to look like 2, 3, 4 century ago slavery, because they've refined the process so well that I can scoop a man up for next to nothing. I don't even have to whip him anymore. I can just give him a serial number and tell him get to work.
But see, they got people. It's people that don't understand that. They got to make it simple for the simple minds. Let's make America great again, like it used to be. Them folks, I'm gonna say this right here.
Details what that actually means.
It's them got so bad where when certain people open their mouth up, they can't control what come out, man. Listen here, I'm gonna say this. I just seen on YouTube where this teacher in Texas told these young students he's racist. He said, I'm racist. And I'm like, so what do you do? What do you do if you got your kids going to school and they teacher tell them he's racist? And they said, you racist? Guess what he said? I told y'all, and I'm not gonna tell you again. They put him on administrative leave. So I want you to listen. If it was a black teacher saying it to a white student, what you think they would have done? Do you think they would have? Hey, you just go home for a little while. We're gonna pay you. Just go home and think about it. No, his ass paid a man would have been gone. So all we want is to be equal. That's it. You can't say we equal and justice for all when it's a lie. All that stuff is a lie. They just took slavery out of the Constitution in Tennessee the other day, man. And it's still in there. They ain't took it out yet. But they voted to take it out. And that's all I'm talking about. 2020 finna be 2023, bro. They still got slavery in the paperwork.
So what's the goal? Because you can all it is rebranding, right? I want people to not separate slavery from I don't know, modern day jailing practices where most of America marijuana is legal and people are making all kinds of money, including former Senate and representatives, House of Representatives members, right? Members of the of Congress, former members of Congress are making money on this as well, right?
Both ways.
Nancy Pelosi makes what? She makes barely six figures, right? But somehow her husband is a trading genius and it's worth hundreds of millions. You know what I mean? So yes, there's a game afoot, but I mean, are we just gonna stop the game with just one or two conversations like this, or are we gonna just really pull our resources and try to figure out how to really understand a game like this that's being played? As we check on the comments, right? Brian Tedder saying about how basically South Park, Family Guy, two of the racist shows ever, but Boondocks pushes it a little bit. I mean, BT, all due respect, that sounds like that NBA versus WNBA talk. I'm gonna let that just sit for a little bit. How people say, well, women are just as talented and blah, 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 and should be paid more and all these things in the WNBA. When all it comes down to is how many people are buying jerseys, how many people are watching, how many people are buying tickets to come see them live.
I will agree a little bit on that. Me personally, I think the WNBA women should be paid a little more than what they make.
Yeah, but you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
I don't give a damn. Them women go out there and they can ball too.
Understand that I'm with you.
Now.
I'm with you.
I'll go watch
their bodies through and the sacrifices they make and just all of them. Great. But what, what did my man Denzel say in that movie when he was a lawyer? It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Oh, who was it? Jamie Foxx in Law Abiding Citizen. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
These women go out night in and night out and play their asses off.
Brian Tedder, are you saying how, in response to Nancy, is the stock market GOAT? Or how, what? How, what? I need to know exactly how, what. Sorry, I'm talking to the comments too. Dean, what were you saying?
They go out night in and night out and bust their ass, right? But when they season over, they have to go play in another country.
It pays them more. Why do they pay them more? I don't know. The girl Brittany Griner still in chains over there. Why?
But that's the thing.
Why do they pay them more?
We got money here. Why they can't pay them? Why they can't pay them here? Like Candace Parker or Janae.
They could pay them there, but they don't have the negotiation power, Dean. They don't have.
But what I'm saying is these women have to go and get these side jobs when they do the same. They might not play the same as the NBA guys, but they put fans in the stands too. And I enjoy watching them.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna say they should be making NBA money, but they should be making good ass
I don't want
money.
you to get trapped in that conversation of really counting and saying how much they're making. I'm saying
I watch a lot, Chris. Aisha Wilson is my girl.
Hey, it's some of them young ladies that play harder than them guys. There's some
hell yeah, they do.
Wait. Hang on. I need y'all to pause real quick. That's not what I'm saying here. We're talking about Boondocks versus a South Park and a Family Guy. Like, where are the ratings at? Where's the merchandise sales at? Like, you have to have all that information before you can just make a clear cut. Oh, it's just racism. Like, sometimes it's just more people protect South Park and Family Guy than black people protected Boondocks. Right?
But I'm gonna say this about Family Guy. Family Guy don't hold punches on nobody. Right? They go after everybody, so they don't discriminate.
No.
White, black, Hispanic, everybody.
I'm saying, well, that's one way to do it, right? Make sure you're making fun of everybody, because
Right.
they're definitely making fun of white folks too. But
Right.
I'm saying the biggest thing is their audience protects them, right? The people who like South Park, the people who like Family Guy, The Simpsons has been on longer than I've been alive. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, we got a request from BT to want to hop on, man. Get him on.
Oh, let's get the link. So here's what I'm saying. The idea that WNBA players don't get paid as much as NBA players simply comes down to their fans don't rock with them like that. And when I say fans, I'm just saying, think about who likes basketball. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you like basketball, you got a chance to see Steph Curry versus LeBron versus Grinder and someone else. Like,
Aisha
who are you gonna choose? If you have to choose, who are you gonna choose?
I get what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, but also there's a huge market that the WNBA is going after that really doesn't have a what do you call it? They really don't care. They don't like it like that. Women, WNBA is saying, hey, women, we got a space for you. Come support us. And they're like, nah, I'm gonna watch Desperate Housewives or Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever the crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not saying they should make these mega deals as the NBA players. That's not what I'm saying. Because of course you're not going to draw the crowd of a Steph, of a Luka, of a Giannis.
But why not?
Of a Bron. I don't know.
It's not because they don't deserve it.
It's not because they don't deserve it. I just don't know. I guess we more equipped to watching NBA. Men run up down the court, dunk on each other, shoot the long. We just that's what we grew up on.
But a lot of
no disrespect to the Cheryl Swoops, the Cheryl Millers, the Lisa Leslie, the Tina Thompson. The list go on and on. Witherspoon. These women paved the way. I'm not saying they should be making these 200 and 300 max deal contracts, but they should be getting paid a little more because they go out there and bust their ass night in, night out.
I think you're saying it wrong. They should be making that money if they have the audience, if they're selling the tickets, if they're selling the jerseys, the hats, the t-shirts, the sneaker deals, the television. Like, you understand that most of the money comes from TV deals.
Yeah, TV deals.
Right?
Yep.
You understand TV deals is just about how many eyeballs do you get?
Right.
Why? Okay, if you get 100 million eyeballs, you know what? Advertising, commercial, buy this. It's the same thing in TNT. Are you seeing the pattern here?
Advertising come before that. If they was to advertise them ladies like they advertise the guys, because if you to the average person, they don't know any female that has some shoes, but they know LeBron got some shoes, they know Kobe got some, they know MJ got them. They don't push them ladies like that.
Fine.
For people who I don't watch WNBA. Aisha Wilson got a shoe. Brianna Stewart got a daggum shoe. Cheryl Swoops had the first women's shoe.
Because you watch it.
Basketball. Because I be watching this.
Right. Everybody don't.
Well, look, you can put resources. You can $1 billion companies spend a third of their budget on research, development, and marketing. A third. That means after I pay myself and my workers and the rent on this land that I'm using for my factory and my materials and all this stuff, a big chunk of that is going towards just to figure out who wants this product and how do I get people to want it, whether they want to or not. I can spend all that money and make the WNBA match, at least on paper, the NBA, but why would I when I already have the NBA? I'm already advertising to everybody on the dadgum planet. It's a global game now. So why would I? Again, I think they should, but that's not how this thing works. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. Brian Tanner from Tanner Talks, please.
What's up, fellas?
Man, give me your insight on this because I know you're gonna speak facts, my friend.
First of all, when it comes to Dean talking about Asia Wilson, you're not watching her for basketball, so we're gonna get that out there right
now. Man, I've been following since South Carolina.
You not watching her for basketball.
Yes,
we're gonna get that
bro.
out there right now. I already know that. I love you, brother. You know I know you. You know I know you.
I'm not the same guy I was 20 years ago.
Bald face lie. You ought to know that. And Bible study is tomorrow, and you lying. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
That Bible study is tomorrow. Look.
Bro, look,
Hopefully I
Simone
this
Augustus
Wednesday
and
night,
Diana Taurasi, they were
Diana
two of my
Church
favorite
House.
women basketball players. You know they don't like us, so why am I watching? they some hoopers. Like these women,
But
like they
to
Diana
get to what I
Taurasi, she
was
smelled
saying,
blood. She took
between
your heart.
South Park and Family Guy, both.
Uh-oh. Brian
Oh,
froze
man,
up on
technical
me.
difficulties will happen. Just give me a wave when you're ready. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I'm saying it wrong. I feel like I'm just saying it wrong. Come back on BT when you get your stuff together. I feel like I'm just saying it wrong. I came on here to talk about one big thing. What is the goal? Right? Because we as human beings, we are aiming people. We need something to aim at. Otherwise, we can be aimed by anybody.
The goal is for us to open up and wake up, man. Pay attention to what's going on. That's the whole thing. When your culture and everything been stripped, and people don't want you to know who you are, we lost. We the lost track, man.
But you come from we come from a long line of fine, take that, give me the scraps of the pig, right? Give me no clothes, give me like whatever you give me, I'm gonna flip it to my benefit. Like one of my favorite books in the world is The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass by Frederick Douglass. And one of the things he says is when his master's wife started teaching him letters, and he didn't really care. He was suicidal at the point. He wasn't really that interested. But then the master comes home and snaps on his wife. And that's when Frederick Douglass was like, uh-oh, he don't want me to know these letters. That's all I care about now. That's all. And he teaches himself how to read. How? He goes back to the white kids. I know how to write an R. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, okay, what else can you write? Oh, I can write a T. Okay, T. That's what a T look like. Got it. That's how he taught himself how to read. What happened to that sort of like fight? What happened to all that? Man, Kanye can get on here and say slavery is a choice and white lives matter, and nothing happens to him until he starts talking about our Jewish brethren.
Maybe he's trying to maybe that whole situation is an eye opener. What I can say and what I can't say. You know, I don't know, man. We got to get it together, man.
And I love that. I love that's what you saw. But you know what I saw? How can we make that situation happen for us? I'm trying to figure out exactly why people are so up in uproar. Like dangerous rhetoric, dog whistle type language has always existed. And I'm trying to figure out how can we use that to our advantage. That's all everybody else has been doing. I mean, even the LG plus community has figured that out, and they have jumped over us in the equality line.
You know why? I'm gonna say this. I don't know where I get this stuff from, and I just talk. Man.
It's under that Chicago Bears.
Right. But it's a reason why we going through this, man. It's a reason, man. It's a reason. We the lost tribe, man. We the original, man. Nobody wants to hear that. That we are the original. Now, let me ask you this right here. When you've been lied to all your life, you don't know what to believe. When you've been told it's a guy in a red suit, slide down the chimney, bring you toys, when your folks then struggle all
I'm not here
year.
to talk about Santa that coming. I've been good all year waiting for my
No, I'm just saying. Man, I'm just saying as a metaphor, the people got to stop giving. If all year, if I worked hard and I bought all these toys, I need this. I did that. So that's why our people are so thrown off, because we was fed so many lies, and now people are, that wasn't right. But when we say that, we still got our people who don't want to hear it. Oh no, don't start that. So we're gonna still be right where we at right now.
Okay.
With the same stuff going on.
Dean and I are coaches. I don't know if you have any experience in that, right? Whose fault is it if the players are not performing? It should.
It's not. That go down the middle, because you could be a hell of a coach, and I could be. Hey, I ain't want to listen to that. That's my fault. But if you could be a garbage coach, don't know what you're talking about, I could be hey, man, I'm trying to get it. It's the coach fault. So you can't put it on one person.
You're exactly right. You can't put it on one person.
Right.
So as you're saying that, hey, because of X, Y, Z, this is the problem. It's like, no. It's a bunch of things, a myriad of things all at once. You can't fix one thing. This is how we get trapped in these voting cycles in the first place. Hey, man, I'm going to work on housing for you this year. Like, I don't need just housing worked on.
Right.
I need my wages worked on. I need my rights worked on. I need my housing as well. I need policing work. I need you to fix all of this together. And it's not just us. It is not just us. But I bring up that question, is it the coach fault or the player fault? That's sort of a analogy because, yes, while it's both parts, I think it's probably more on the coach to make sure you are motivating your players to want to be better, motivating them to study, to practice, run these drills, and make sure they understand why, not just blindly following and listening. And fine, Kyrie, you want to wake people up because you're an outside thinker, a free thinker, he calls himself. Fine, but I need you to educate yourself so you can be more specific. So when they throw all these tactics at you, you're able to answer these questions past, they said some things that, I don't agree with everything. Well, what don't you agree with, Kyrie? Well, I mean, there's some things in there that you shouldn't have said. That don't sound like a person who has educated himself. He don't even know what he's trying to say to people. His millions of people, by the way, who are going to blindly follow him. That's my problem with the Kyrie. And I hate saying it out loud because this is really for the barbershop. These types of things are really for
no. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. We want to keep these topics in the barbershop when they need to be brought out while people that don't go to the barbershops.
I'm just saying the people are going to clip this stuff and flip it however they want. See, Kyrie is wrong because listen to what this guy says. That's all I mean.
And you're gonna have the back and forth. Like you're gonna have some people gonna be on the side, some people ain't gonna be on the side. And that's just the society we live in. That's the same with this Kanye thing. That's the same with everything that goes on. You go have one group of people like, well, he was right, and you always go have a group of people say he was wrong. We never can come together and compromise if it was right or damn wrong because everybody got their own damn opinion, and that's where the damn divide comes, and that's what they like.
Right.
You keep saying they like. I feel like when you hear the top 1% of
the upper echelon, and I don't give a damn what color you is. The upper echelon,
right. There you go.
The upper echelon, and I don't care what color you is. Their pockets are deeper than ours.
There you go.
Did you hear what I just said? The upper echelon.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing.
Don't matter.
Get them out of here. Dang gum, I can't hear myself think. Here's what I'm saying. Okay, so real quick, peek behind the curtain. I do this once a week to Dean just to mess with him because he's supposed to learn how to control this to where I can't kick him off, but he hasn't done his homework yet. So I just keep messing with him to see if he's learned something. So I'm agreeing with my big bro Dean, right? But we got to get rid of this they. They is so it's so paintbrushy. Like I don't know. That's too wild. Let's be more specific. Kanye, the best interview I saw him in was one with was it Lex Friedman, a Jewish engineer. And he kept saying, like, hey, I want you to know as a Jewish person, like, if I was in control of anything, I would be living a lot better. A lot better. He said, so what I want you to do is two things, Kanye. He says, I want you to call out each individual, each company that has done you wrong, and basically messed over you. And then I want you to build something better with your platform, your resources, your genius. I don't think that's such a bad idea. So when you say instead of they, I want you from now on the upper echelon, or like some of these guys, the top 1% of the 1%.
Because the upper echelon, it's any color. It's black, gray, blue, green.
That's
it don't matter what nationality. They got more money than us three right here. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna look down upon us any damn way.
I mean, they don't even see us. That gummy, we're germs.
You're right. They don't even see us.
Washing away with their sacred water. That's how small we are. They can't even.
That's what the divide.
Without a microscope. That's how small we are.
And that's what I tell you. That's where the divide come from. They like us to be at each other's throats. All people under them, up echelon, whatever. Them people want us to be at each other's throats. Mm-hmm. As long as we do that. But echelon people are winning.
Isn't that the billions? This is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to look
get enough brains to come together and shit because everybody got a damn ego.
Pay the man. But here's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to look like 4 centuries ago. Like they made it so easy for themselves, the upper echelon, top 1% of the 1%, whatever. Right? I don't have to have a man whipped in the streets anymore. Right? They're basically doing it to themselves. Like, look, Kanye West, one of his biggest things, his biggest crusades, I think is a noble one on the surface, which is half of all black deaths come from abortions. That's tough. And I am not here to debate whether or not it's somebody's right to choose whatever, right? Especially with the title that slavery is a choice. Oh, you could have just bit your tongue and bled out to death versus be a slave. Like it's just some easy thing, like it's something you can sign up for.
Some people didn't choose though. Some people took the other way, and hey, it's whatever.
Not about taking the other way, and I'm glad.
But you saying choice? That's a choice. Okay, if I accept and go on and do this and be hogtied or whatever, I chose to do that. If there
are people who fought and lost and were chained and brought here and were beaten, whipped, brutalized, bucked, all kinds of things. Right? What we're doing right now is I don't think we're giving. And I'm using the royal we as a society, we're not giving enough credence to these tactics, man. Like there was a white guy who got shipwrecked, a white guy. He was a captain. You got to be pretty smart to be a captain those days. You got to at least know how to read, you got to know how to navigate all these things. He gets shipwrecked, washes up on the shore, gets scooped up by these people, and by the time that they're done with him, he didn't even remember his own language when he was recovered. He couldn't speak his own language. This thing doesn't have a color on it. It's just tried and true tactics. And what I'm saying to y'all is it's been so refined that we don't even have to do that anymore. You know what we'll do? We'll put out the next summer hit. We'll put out a TV show. We'll give a bunch of rights to kids to make sure, hey, your parents can't discipline you. If they do and you don't like it, call this number. We got your back. Women, you don't need men. You don't need men at all. Independent. INDE. Come on, man. We don't have to whip anymore. What
I like how you didn't know how to spell that shit.
What the crap did you just say to me?
You didn't know how to spell it. You stopped.
Independent? INDEPENDENT.
It's a joke, man. I was seeing if you gonna catch on.
Hey, you know what I want? You know what I want to happen right now? Producer, give him the crap out here. How dare he sit here in front of all our company and try to play me like I can't spell? I do struggle with spelling, but I do know that. The point being,
it was a joke, man. I still love you, brother.
Oh, I got you. You don't have to whip anybody anymore, man. We're doing it to ourselves. I just gave you that stat earlier. Right? We're not the biggest country, but we have the most imprisoned people on the planet.
So let me ask y'all this right now. Let me ask y'all this too right now. Because the topic of our show tonight is slavery as a choice. So us as a society right now, all races, we're basically in it now. When you go to that damn job and clock in. Think about it. I know working at General Motors, you ain't nothing but a damn number.
Oh, no. You don't say names.
Oh, yeah. I don't care.
You have to take that paycheck.
I don't care, man. Look, I'm that one that's going to speak out, bro. I don't care because
we give you, huh?
I don't care, man. You don't understand how people are treated in there. And it's just modern day slavery.
Look, my dad worked for them. I work for them. I understand. That's why I ain't been back.
Yep. It's modern day slavery. So you saying it's a choice, and all of us who go clock in every day, we're making that choice to go do this back-breaking ass work. We ain't got to do it, but you got to make money. You got to make money to provide, though, right?
You'll say right. You'll talk all that noise you want, but if they tell you, "Hey, man, sorry, I know we got you scheduled for 8. We need you to go 10." Bet you'll be in there for 10 hours.
Shit, you don't know who you talking to, do you?
Most people will take that premium and get that overtime, but you're exactly right. Like, how far is this choice thing, right? Because the ideal is you jack up housing, food, gas, all these things. You let them get out of control. So not only we can't have the traditional household anymore, right? Where it's one person working, one person taking care of the homestead, right? Filling all the gaps that you're losing from school, right? You can't have that. You have to have at least both parents working. At least. And childcare is so ridiculously I need my mama to watch my kids to do X, Y, Z. It's crazy out there, right? You put all of that societal, social pressure, all that social pressure on your neck. Excuse the turn of phrase, but you put all that pressure on someone's neck, and then you give them a job to barely keep them afloat and dare them to push back on these rules. Dare them. Martin Luther King, say what you want. Malcolm X didn't get touched till he took the United States to world court. He was suing the United States of America as war criminals, suing the country.
Her.
I don't think we really pay attention to that. Boom, gotta go.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, he had the civil rights movement. He didn't get killed till years later. What was he there in Memphis to talk about again? Oh, yeah, it's not a black-white thing. It's about how much you're getting paid and how you're working, your working conditions, unionizing, understanding what they're doing. Boom, gone.
So you said so Martin went to Memphis to march with who?
No, not march. He was there to give a speech.
Yeah, for who though?
It was for who was it? Garbage,
right?
Sewage?
Garbage.
Workers.
And guess who was the garbage man then? All of them.
I'm saying it wasn't like they understood where he was going with that. Mm-hmm. They understood. So my biggest thing with you can have all the marches that you want, right? Yeah, I think the difference between the Jewish community or the LG plus community from the black community, when they say we are not buying X product because we don't like what they said, and things change, you need to understand the economy behind that, right? Jewish people said, "Hey, man, we won't buy another dadgum Yeezy. We won't buy another dadgum Yeezy," and all of a sudden, Adidas gone. So is it just about racism or is it economy? Probably both, right? Probably both, whether we want to admit it or not. But the ideal is, what are we going to do? We need to start paying attention to what other people are doing who are successful.
What if we pay attention and still don't do nothing about it and we don't stick together? We got to come together, brother. We got to, man.
We're going back to WNBA. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for.
But the thing is, when you get done, we got to come together, man. We can't be separated and think things are going to happen. They're not. You see how people came out and voted when they were sick of that with the orange guy?
Right.
People voted that never voted before, man. They was tired of it. People tired, man.
Hear this out on both sides, because you got to be careful what you mean by coming together. Because half of the country, while Biden and all them won, you got to think, it wasn't that far apart. It wasn't that far apart. The first most votes in American history was this last time with Biden. You know who had the second most? Trump. You know, at the third most? Other Trump. So when you say come together, it's not just about that, because we don't have to like each other. I'm talking about treating this in a scientific manner and understanding what actually works. Civil rights movement. They make all these movies about the marching and the singing and the great speech in front of the monument. That's not what happened. You know what really happened that got that to move, got pen to paper, to get the United States military to mobilize so people can get into schools? You know what actually got that to happen? An economic chokehold. We're not taking any city-wide transportation until we get this. That was a very specific ask and a very specific threat. And then when they didn't give them what they wanted, they followed through with the threat. They walked. They carpooled. They quit jobs and started businesses. It was all kinds of stuff that you'll never see in those movies. It was an economic just attack on a city. And you know what happened to that city? They started losing money, lots and lots of money. And so then they caved in. Like, we got to understand that. The LG plus community says, we're not included in these Disney movies. Guess what? We won't see another Disney movie. And then they follow through that threat. Guess what? You better have that representation in every movie from now on. I bet you that. Latinx, same thing. Jewish people, same thing. They get organized. They make their threats, but they also make their demands.
But what are they doing? But what are they doing? They coming together. And that's what I'm saying. We got to come together, man. We can't everybody else come together but us. We the only people that tear each other down, man. And until we get that understood, we're gonna still be. Hey, why would somebody else treat you right if your own people don't treat you right?
No, if you think media is in control of their narrative, they are. And I'm not saying Jewish or anybody else. I'm saying literally media. So why the frap would I even talk about the other side of it, right? Because there are plenty of people who are out there speaking sense. Our little show right here is speaking sense. We're at least being reasonable, right? Dr. Cornell West is being reasonable. Hughes is being reasonable. All these guys are being reasonable, but those aren't the ones you hear from. You hear from NBA legend, I guess he's calling himself, Kyrie Irving. You're hearing from Kanye West. Like Kanye West, he's not even top 50.
And see, when you say this, hold on, brother. When you say this, just say, for instance, if I'd have been scrolling through like I did y'all last week, and I came through and I hear you saying that, my first instinct, like, oh, here we go, another brother down and another brother. That's the first thing I'd have said. That you know what I'd have done? I probably would have kept on scrolling. So we heard our own, man. We got to watch what we say and how we express ourselves. We are very emotional, spiritual people. And when we talk with authority. So when you just said that, it's like anytime you say Kanye or Kyrie, you like, and people are paying attention to that. So once again, why are any other people gonna love our people when our own people talk about our own people and say certain stuff?
We do need to refine our process, because
we do.
One thing that happened there is you didn't even let me finish my sentence. I said Kanye West is not even top 50. See, right there. What was I gonna say?
I don't know, but you say you can't say he's not in no. You don't know everybody's top 50. You can say he's not in your top 50. Because he's in mine.
Put a unit of measurement on there. Put a unit of measurement. Top 50. In mine. I want you to read my mind and tell me what I was gonna say.
Going to say top 50 rapper?
Nope.
Entertainer?
Nope. And this is us refining our product, because you're right. You're right. Someone will hear that, like, oh, here he go. Give him his producing credits, his rap credits, his money credit. Like, no.
So what was you saying? He's not top 50?
Top 50 public intellectual speakers, right? And black activists.
Who is? We looking for some. We need them.
I'm about to look up.
We need them.
Hold on. Because I literally named Hughes. I named
but these are people we don't see. You know who controls?
No. You're right. I'm agreeing with you. You're right.
Who controls everything? Right, they're gonna let us see the sports. Are they gonna let us see all that? But if anybody talking about something that's gonna help us, you're gonna catch it late at night when everybody's asleep, or you won't catch it at all.
All right, so I just pulled up I did a Google search. Kwame Appiah, Mary Berry, of course, Stephen Carter, Ta-Nehisi Coates, of course, great poet laureate, Patricia Hill Collins. I'm gonna get this link and I'm gonna put it in the link, because you're absolutely right. But these are the types of conversations that I really get excited for, because as we check each other, right, with love, right?
I'm learning at the same time.
Right, with love, right? And
I done learned a lot of shit between y'all two tonight. I ain't gonna lie.
Pay the man. Look, here's a link right there. There's a long link. Copy and paste it. Here's the minute marker 1:03:29. And what I'm saying to you is we gotta get better at that. Like, I should have been better with how I'm saying it. I should keep my emotions more in check. Right? I should have started with, you know what? We need the black intellectuals. List them off. We need to be studying them more, hearing what they're saying, try to hear them out, and try to get to a point. But I think the biggest point when dealing with anybody is literally trying to set your goals before every conversation.
Our brother, Mr. Jude, put a nice little comment in. I want you to put it up there on the screen.
He says the ones speaking some real stuff aren't the ones they show. Because they aren't the ones people want to see. People want to see the sports. They want to see the Barclays, the Shaqs, etc. Views pay the way.
I agree with it.
But getting back to DeMarco's point, we should be putting them on point anyway, right? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that list that I put up there, 20 famous black scholars, right? That list up there, they're all saying somewhat the same thing that your Bible is saying, your Torah is saying, like all this lean towards responsibility. Hey, check yourself before you wreck yourself. We've heard that one, right? Right? Pull the log out of your eye, or the log out of your eye before you take the speck out of your brother's eye. Like all the same, they're all saying the same thing, which is be responsible. Citizens, fathers, mothers, whatever, be responsible. Lean towards responsibility. And you know what? That's harder. That's harder than someone just saying, "Hey, man, like this picture of this post or this video link that I may or may not have even seen." It's a lot harder to sit down and, I don't know, read a book all the way through, listen to a 2-hour, 3-hour lecture. It's hard, especially when it tells you, "Hey, man, you're not doing everything that you can do to be a better version of you. So how the crap you gonna tell me, like, to be better in society when you're not even working on you enough?"
Who you referring to now? Are you just talking?
I'm talking to myself.
I thought you was talking. I thought you. Okay.
I'm talking to myself first. Like, I'm trying to take their advice.
And once again, our brother Craig Juday, man, he put some good comments in his comment section. Pull this one up right here because he got a good point on this one right here.
How many people, he says, for the listeners on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, how many people can name 5 famous scholars, regardless of color? I bet you can't get to 25 great athletes. Oh, bet you can name 25 great athletes, though.
He dead on. He dead on because I damn sure can't name 5, but I can name you 25 athletes right now.
Man. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I'm guilty of that one right
there. Scotty Colts, I've said him. Yeah, no, it's tough. Give me a top 10, man. Your top 10 point guards, and we are on it.
Oh, we own it. We had Manuel Jones and all of them in here talking about Bron.
But to DeMarco's point, like, I think what we're all trying to say is, how do we obtain that? And you're saying come together, and it's very vague. And I don't mean to say that hyperbolically. I'm saying it's very vague. We need to come together. Like, how? Like, we need specific plans on how to do this. Like, how would you do it?
How would I do it?
You run the world somehow, and, you've been voted Superior Williams, right? How do you quote unquote get us to come together?
I just can't get put on no big pedestal like that, man. I can't get put out there like that. That's too big of a that's too big of a platform, man. Let me start with my neighborhood. Let me start around the block or something. I'm gonna say this. First of all, I'll come shop with you, and just say your product wasn't good. All right, I'm gonna go to Facebook. I'm gonna blast you out. I'm a man. He's Well, I'm gonna go to McDonald's 3 times this week, and they got my order wrong 3 times. And guess what? I'm gonna go back the 4th time. You see what I'm saying? And the majority of the people don't see nothing wrong with that. So we got problems all across the board, man. We got them, man. And hey, I don't know. I can't solve them.
No, but maybe your place in all this is what we're exactly doing now, which is just bringing it to light.
Right.
Just making people think about something else. But I like what you said. Let me start with my neighborhood.
Right.
How about this? Especially us, black folks who don't believe mental health is an issue. Let's start with ourselves.
Right.
Oh my goodness, this is a personal struggle of mine.
Yeah.
Like, and you talk about real guilt, like looking at my kids and telling them what they should not be doing, and then I'm not following suit. That'll mess with you. That'll cause you not to sleep, right?
I think it's quite a few of us. I damn sure guilty of it, brother. You hear what I'm saying? So that what you just said. First of all, we got to identify that within ourselves, and a lot of people don't like to because a lot of people think you ain't got mental issues. First of all, to the people out there, and if you got them, including myself, because I know I got them, there's nothing wrong with coming out and say you got mental issues. That don't mean that you crazy. It just mean you need a little help. You need a friend to talk to. Get that shit off your chest and don't ball it up inside. Damn what the world look at you or what they think about you. That's a big problem for our culture. We give a damn about too much about what somebody think about you. Man, the hell with what somebody think about me. I don't care. I used to. I don't give a damn no more. Like me, love me or hate me, I'm still gonna be Dean. I don't care.
So we talked earlier about human beings just being people who aim, right? Like like just how our eyesight has even evolved over time to make sure we can see. Like we're one of the few beings on Earth that can see so many different shades of green. And we did that so we can catch those snakes in the grass because that's what was killing us. So what we do, we adjust it. Our actual, like how many shades of green we can see versus, I don't know, like a dog who's basically colorblind. Like it was for a reason. And I think what you're saying is right, is you got to figure out what the problem, the real problem is, right? It's not the boogeyman. That's the easy stuff, right? If I'm a Democrat, oh, it's Republicans doing this. If I'm Republican, oh, it's the Democrats doing this. Meanwhile, the people who's sitting with all of them, like Craig said earlier, playing golf together, like Trump at Clinton's wedding, and like, come on, man.
They'll tell you they didn't work together. They say it all the time.
Bipartisan, right?
Wow, man.
Bipartisan. So, like, if we start understanding, like Mr. DeMarco says, you got to come together. And I put them on the stage. I put them, on Front Street there and say, hey, you're in control of everything. How do we do this? He was like, man, he said the innocent, truthful thing. Like, let me start with my neighborhood. Right. And now here we are streaking it even further. Let me start with myself. And maybe it's not about like caring so much about everybody. Maybe that's the problem. It's too widespread. Maybe, I don't know, if you're a religious person, all you care about is what God thinks. Right? If you're not religious and you're just a family person, all you care about is what you can provide yourself and your family and your own neighborhood. Whatever that is, you need to be aiming at something. Aiming at something. It's all going to be, if you're going to be successful in a way that's going to let you sleep at night, it's going to have something to do with responsibility. Here are the things that I'm going to do, even though I don't want to, so I can later do the things that I want to, when I want to, how I want to, without any fear of cancellation or oppression or whatever. I think the interesting thing about, the civil rights movement is it's not just, look at my man from Twitch saying, we need our own Wakanda. But even Wakanda took work. They had to have some religious, hierarchy, and only these people can eat the plant and all this stuff, right? But like, our biggest thing is understanding how these other groups have pushed forward, right? And I think the only note that I would give of Dr. Martin Luther King, if I could be so bold, or Malcolm X, is don't make it so centralized. If one man get taken out, the whole thing kind of falls apart. Like, no, we need to be like Hydra up in here, right? Cut one head off, two more pop up. You kill King, you got 12 kings in another state somewhere else. And you keep doing that till you actually create some real change that can't be reversed. So understand the economy behind it. Understand, like he said, coming together, all these things, but it can't just be one thing or one pocket of people or one person that can be knocked off and then the whole thing falls apart. It's got to be a collective. But anywho, Mr. DeMarco,
what's going on,
man?
You
gotta come back, man. You gotta come back on a different platform. We have more time,
right?
But give the people your last word, and then we'll go to Dean's last word, and then we'll get on up out of here.
Hey man, I like, first of all, I'd like to say I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of this, man. I blessings to this whole thing right here. I hope, billions of dollars, man, wealth and health rain down on Let's Talk, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, man, we got to get it together. But you said it, man. It start with self, man. It start with self, man. And that's it. That's it for me. Start with self.
I love it. Thank you for being on, man. Please come back. Hang out in the back room if you want to. Dean.
Yeah.
That gum Dean. Always Dean. Like, I don't know what to do with Dean sometimes, boy. I will ask you this.
Hey, man.
We got into some religious talk. Here we go. What did the evil chicken lay? Deviled eggs.
That was a damn good one right there, man. That dude, he stuck me on that one, man. But man, look, little sensitive subject tonight. Very sensitive at that, but sometimes you got to step outside your element and do those kind of things, man. I love the interaction that we had from everybody, because we have to come together as a people, for one, and that don't matter what color you are. because the man upstairs put us all down here as one. You cut your arm, I cut my arm. We both gonna bleed red, and I don't give a damn what color you are, red, black, blue, white. It don't matter. You cut your arm, I cut my arm. We both gonna bleed red. So we got to come together as a people and get over this nonsense bullshit in the world that we stay at each other's throats about. And we can do it, but everybody just got to put your mind together to do it. And once everybody puts your mind together to do it, we all gonna come out winners. I love everybody. DeMarco, appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man. Very powerful message, very powerful show. Appreciate everybody who got in the chats and interacted with us, man. Sometimes we don't just do it about sports. As my cousin James Jones up in there, what's up, baby? But sometimes sometimes it ain't all about sports. Sometimes we got to step outside. Sometimes we got to step outside the box and talk about some sensitive subjects on the show, and we'll do it. And we want y'all interaction as we do that. Love that everybody on there. Once again, a shout out to DeMarco for coming on the show. We will bring it back on. Until next week, peace and love. We holler at y'all.